NTV, Central and Western Nebraska's most watched news. This is First at 5.
Just ahead tonight on NTV News First at 5, the president visiting Nebraska on Wednesday after a State of the Union address. Next week, find out where he'll also be. Plus, some high school students in the Tri-Cities are in trouble tonight for handing out drug-laced candy.
Well, some spots seeing some precipitation still this evening. We'll take a look at what you can expect for the rest of the night. We do have some ongoing chances, plus a cold weekend ahead. All the details are coming up later on First at 5.
Thank you, Regina, and we thank you for joining us tonight for First at 5. Seth has the night off. The president is coming to Nebraska. It is the first time he'll be making a stop in Omaha on Wednesday. Then he's heading to Louisiana. The White House says the president is expected to talk about progress under his leadership, as well as an agenda for his remaining year in office and the years to come to keep his mission going. We're learning information tonight about an investigation at Hastings Public Schools about students handing out drug-laced candy. Officers learning 2 teen boys had been distributing candy which contained THC to other students in the form of chocolate bars and hard candy. Police say the boys have been issued citations for possession of marijuana and distribution of a controlled substance. At this time, there are 5 students known to have consumed some of the THC-laced food products. Earlier this week, one student became ill from the candy and had to seek medical attention. Some of the students did not know they'd been given THC-laced candy. We're going to have more on this story tonight on NTV News at 6. The Omaha Police Department believes Officer Nick Canglia's use of force was justified when he tried to break up a high school fight last month at Millard High School. Video footage examined during the investigation show the officer intervening with the fight and getting punched in the head. The student who punched the officer was not charged for an assault on an officer because the student confessed, saying he wasn't aware he was hitting an officer. A Broken Bow man convicted of kidnapping has his case overturned by the state Supreme Court today. Tyler Bain was convicted by a Custer County jury, but the Supreme Court says his right to a fair trial was violated. Bain's attorney left the case, but documents about the defense strategy were mistakenly left in a court file as evidence. Several prosecutors saw that information. While the prosecutors who ultimately tried the case did not have access to that, Supreme Court ruled in Bain's favor. It is possible, though, he could be retried. Police say a 2-year-old boy has nearly drowned in a Lincoln bathtub. A police spokesperson says the child's stepmother reported stepping away from the tub for a couple minutes to check on another child. This was last night. The woman says the toddler was under the water when she returned. Police say that they arrived at the home within minutes of a 911 call and gave the toddler CPR until medics arrived. The boy was then taken to a hospital. Mexican drug lord known as El Chapo, whose dramatic escape was caught on surveillance, has been captured. Kenneth Moten has the latest.
Joaquin El Chapo Guzman captured. These are images of the drug lord after his arrest, and here's video of the fugitive, his head covered, in the custody of Mexican Marines. They took him down during a pre-dawn raid and shootout in the western state of Sinaloa. Mexico's president tweeted in Spanish, "Mission accomplished. We have him." El Chapo, one of the biggest and most dangerous drug lords in the world, has been on the run for 7 months. His daring escape from this maximum security prison near Mexico City sparked an international manhunt and a massive investigation. Over the summer, ABC News was underground and inside the 1-mile tunnel El Chapo used to travel from his prison cell to a house. The escape route, well lit, ventilated, custom built to his height. There was even a modified motorcycle to help carve the passageway. The leader of the Sinaloa cartel had the resources and a wide reach. It's believed his major drug trafficking operation is responsible for half of the illegal drugs that enter the U.S. from Mexico each year.
It is a very big deal that they were able to pull this off, particularly when you consider all the potential resources El Chapo has at his disposal.
It was El Chapo's second escape, so the work begins to make sure he stays behind bars. At one point, the DEA wanted the drug lord here because he's been charged with several crimes in the U.S. but no word if he'll be transferred across the border. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
While most farm fields are white and snow covered, some are green with crops growing even in the dead of winter. Steve White, our bureau chief, has more live from our Grand Island newsroom. Steve, is this what they call cover crops?
Yeah, that's right, Colleen. It's an old concept that is growing in popularity. If you look at fields across central Nebraska this time of year, you may see turnips and radishes, rye and hairy vetch growing in fields. Keith Burns of Bladen, he was one of those who's growing them and at first was concerned that it would use valuable moisture, but now that he's been growing them a few years, says that hasn't been the case.
These cover crops probably weren't using as much moisture as we had feared. Number two, we really saw how the soil was changing and responding by having these things growing out there during a period of time when the soil would normally just be bare and fallow. And number three, we saw how well the cattle did when we were grazing the cattle on these cover crops.
Farmers plant these crops with no intention to actually harvest them. The idea is to improve the soil, but it can also be part of the cattle business. That's because they graze cattle in these fields where they say those cattle have pretty good weight gain. Now, we talk a lot about technology on the farm. Usually that's things like GPS or GMOs, but farmers say biology is sometimes just as important as technology. We will have much more on that coming up tonight at 6.
Okay, Steve, see you at 6. Thank you. According to the Bureau of Business Research at UNL, businesses remain optimistic about employment over the next 6 months, but they do have mixed expectations for sales. The survey shows 13% of those who responded expect to increase employment over the next 6 months, while just 2% expect to reduce it. The outlook for sales was split, with 25% responding predicting that sales will increase, 25% predicting sales will decrease. The remainder expected no change. Saturday's Powerball jackpot is now the largest in U.S. history, estimated at more than $800 million. And that potential payout is leading to long lines for tickets. But your odds of winning just went up. ABC's Brandy Hitt explains.
Right there, there's a winner.
Powerball fever is sweeping the nation.
I've got the winning ticket right here.
Now building to the biggest jackpot ever. More than $800 million and counting.
I look for it to grow some more today, so we'll see what happens.
Just look at this massive line in Prim, Nevada.
We've been waiting 2 hours.
Hey, it's nothing but money.
It's well worth the wait. Everybody's got a dream. Next!
Millions hoping to cash in the winning ticket after 18 drawings with no jackpot.
We're at levels we've never seen before.
The reason the odds of winning are now larger too. You still need to match 5 white balls and 1 red ball. But in October it became more difficult when the number of white balls went up from 59 to 69 and the number of red balls went down from 35 to 26, increasing the odds of winning from 1 in 175 million to 1 in 292 million. Most know how they'd spend the money immediately.
You just put $1.5 million or $1 million away somewhere and give away the rest.
Well, if I win the big money, I'm going to take care of all our veterans.
Tickets are now selling so quickly for Saturday night's drawing, lottery officials say they're on the verge of creating the first ever lottery billionaire. Brandy Hitt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
In other news tonight, if you've been thinking about improving your home, then this upcoming event will certainly help. The Kearney Home and Builders Show kicking off today at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds. The 3-day event is for people interested in changing the inside or outside of their home. The Kearney Home and Builders Show will even have a wildlife encounter. That is to entertain the kids while mom and dad can shop. For more information, you can visit our website, that is nebraska.tv. The YWCA of Adams County is ready to help area teens dress for upcoming prom season. Gowns for Good will offer reasonably priced dresses and shoes for prom. Dresses may be purchased on any of the sale dates, February 3rd, 10th, and 17th, or the 6th and 9th at the YWCA in Hastings. Gently used gowns can be dropped off at the Y before February 1st. Lexington will be getting an extra $30,000 to help recycle more this year. A grant from Litter Reduction and Recycling to keep Lexington beautiful will add a new trailer to the middle school and the YMCA for recycling. The Lexington Area Solid Waste Agency see 70,000 tons of garbage go into their landfill on a daily basis. Right now, the city has 3 trailers at the elementary schools and 1 at the high school.
You know, they've been filling up pretty fast, and this will be a bigger trailer, so I hope it'll take some of the pressure off, the others and give us more room.
Moore says he has to get a recycling container for each household. More than 400 pounds of plastic and aluminum was picked up over 2 weekends of a state softball tournament in Lexington this past year. Still ahead on NTV News First at 5, meteorologist Regina Bird is in with a look at our forecast. And coming up, find out how cardboard helps save a toddler's young life. And a kitten in South Dakota is saved twice from death. More ahead after the break. Stay with us.
NTV, where your news comes first, with Seth Denny, Colleen Williams, Kent Fountain Weather. This is NTV News First at 5.
Time now for NTV's First Alert Forecast with meteorologist Regina Bird.
Well, welcome back. Still a chance for some precipitation overnight tonight, looking at 30% chance for maybe some freezing drizzle or snow for the Tri-Cities. Now, any place that sees any accumulation will be light, less than an inch expected, but around 21 expected at bedtime. We are going to drop down into the upper teens as we head into the overnight hours, around 16 expected around breakfast. Cold and breezy as we head into tomorrow. Temperatures not going to get much warmer throughout the day, looking at 18 as we head towards midday, and we are only going to top out at that 18-degree mark for the Tri-Cities. Here's a look at our radar. Currently, you can see some light returns at this hour, so still seeing some reports of some snow at this hour. Still a chance for maybe some freezing drizzle or snow continuing throughout the rest of the night. Let's take a look at some snowfall reports from the National Weather Service. Now, Shelby reporting almost 4.5 inches. Clay Center reporting 4 inches. Hastings, several reports coming from the Hastings area. Near Hastings, around 3 inches, just over 3 inches, the highest report from the Hastings area. Hildreth reporting 2.5 inches, and then David City also coming in with 2.5 inches as well. Let's take a look at our Viera Wireless camera network near Superior. This area is seeing some of that snowfall over the last 24 hours. You can see that snow. We are seeing that cloud cover ongoing. As we take a look at current conditions, we are seeing cold conditions. We are seeing some of those lower 30s though across parts of eastern Nebraska at this hour. And as you can see, 31 at this hour in Lincoln and currently 31 in Hebron. The upper 20s currently in the Tri-Cities, 22 in Ainsworth and currently 24 in the Thedford area. Winds though are sustained around 10 to 20 miles per hour. We'll continue to see those winds on the breezy side overnight tonight and even into tomorrow, and so that's going to make it feel even colder as we head into the day on Saturday. We'll start off Futurecast at 7 p.m. tonight though. Still a chance for maybe some light snow and freezing drizzle early on tonight. Otherwise, looking at very cold conditions to start off our weekend. Highs only topping out in the teens for many of us. And then we are going to see very cold conditions Saturday night into Sunday. We'll see lots of sunshine as we head into the day on Sunday, but still going to be on the colder side. We're going to top out in the 20s for the Tri-Cities, but otherwise we'll see quiet conditions remaining into Sunday and even into the day on Monday. Could maybe see a few flurries on Monday night, but otherwise we are looking at dry conditions persisting throughout the next several days. But for tonight, we are going to dip down to near 15 degrees. That chance for maybe some freezing drizzle or snow tonight. Winds going to be breezy from the north around 10 to 20 miles per hour. As we head into the day tomorrow, we are going to top out near 18. So a colder day with mostly cloudy skies. Those winds going to make it feel even colder. Could see some gusts up to around 25 miles per hour for the day tomorrow. And then heading into Saturday night, we are going to dip down to near 1 degree for the Tri-Cities, excuse me. We'll see some of that clearing though. Very cold temperatures and winds remaining on the breezy side from the northwest. We'll see them around 10 to 20 miles per hour for tomorrow night. But lows tonight going to be in the single digits and teens for many of us. Some spots going to drop down into the lower 20s in northern Kansas. As we head into the day tomorrow, going to top out in the teens and 20s. So still going to be cold. Not much difference compared to what we're going to see tonight versus our highs tomorrow. As we look at the next 7 days, Sunday, a little bit warmer, if you can call those 20s warmer. You're going to see lots of sunshine.
Yeah, right. Warmer, I'm using air quotes.
Yeah, there you go. But we do see a mix of highs in the 20s and 30s starting on Monday into next Friday.
Okay. Looking pretty good then.
Yeah, just got to make it through tomorrow in that cold air. Definitely want to bundle up if you're heading out.
Yeah, I've been saying that for the past couple days. We got to make it through the fog.
There you go.
Make it through the snow.
Yeah,
right.
Just say
now the cold.
Look ahead, right?
Thanks, Regina. Still to come on NTV News First at 5, we're going to find out how Google Cardboard helped doctors save an infant's life. That and more ahead. A toy-like cardboard contraption that sells for less than 20 bucks online has helped doctors save a baby's life. Here's the story of baby Tegan and how Google Cardboard gave her a new lease on life.
I see the baby's heart. I see it in 3D. I can see it from the front, the back. I can see it from the top, and I can see it from the bottom. Each one of these is a 2D image, but when I close it and I look through the lenses, then I get 3D, and I can move it just by turning my head. And you know, for a surgeon, that's everything. He knows exactly what he's going to get when he opens up that baby's chest.
That is so cool. You move and it moves the heart. It's almost like you're in her heart.
It's revolutionary because the way that we would plan surgery in the past is we took a two-dimensional image, and then in our mind we would have to process that and try to come up with an idea of what we were going to see when the baby's chest was open.
So your team sat in a room and all of you guys were doing this?
A bunch of us, yeah. Minutes and millimeters make the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong. Once we saw these images, we said, wait a second, we can figure this out. I think this is the difference between her living and dying.
We have an update now. That footage was shot 4 weeks ago. Baby Tegan has now been taken off a ventilator and is breathing on her own. Doctors expect her to go home within the next 2 weeks and make a full recovery. Still to come on NTV News First at 5. If cats have 9 lives, meet a kitten who has already, well, used up 2 of them. Stay with us. A paralyzed kitten brought to the Humane Society in Rapid City, South Dakota just before Halloween was clinging to life. But enough money was raised to help buy her a wheelchair. Now the special needs cat has a family.
Well, we got 5 kids, 3 of them 3 and under. We got the little boy over there too. And we've got 4 dogs, and now we have 2 cats. I did not want to add another cat to the family, but after seeing Fury, my wife pretty much almost cried, so we had to do something. No one else was doing it.
So, last Sunday, January 3rd, the Freibarger family moved Fury and her big crate into their Blackhawk home. Shanna is the animal lover in this family.
I have a big heart for handicapped animals. Like, I want to go to school and work with handicapped kids, but I have too many kids myself right now to go to school, and I just saw her on Facebook, your guys' news story, and I was like, I want that cat.
A new pet can be a fun addition to any family, but in this case, a lot more work for this stay-at-home mom. Imagine the commitment that goes with adopting a paralyzed cat that wears preemie diapers cut individually for a tail hole.
No, not too bad. So I got 3 kids in diapers, and it's better having a cat that will actually potty in the diaper versus cleaning a litter box or pooping on the floor.
And meet Walter, Fury's 3-legged brother. They haven't spent much time together yet. The 4 big dogs spend most of their day outside.
It's actually not that bad. She has to have her diaper changed probably between 4 to 6 times a day, give her a quick little bath, spray her off and dry her off and cuddle her. And hardest part is keeping my little one there, Adrena, from picking her up and carrying her around. She's not very gentle about it just yet. She's really the most snuggly cat I think I've ever had. Probably 'cause she can't get away very well.
She's very nice and tolerant, and like you said, she can't get away because she's not very mobile. So she's cuddly and she puts up with the kids and just kind of scoots around. She's a very lovable little cat.
Oh, well, there is a chiropractor who donates twice weekly physical therapy while Fury gains her strength and learns to adapt. We'll be right back. Coming up tonight on NTV News at 6, we'll hear from Hastings police about drugged candy that they confiscated this week at Hastings Public Schools. And in sports, Brett will preview a big weekend for the Tri-City Storm. Well, animals, they have opinions too. Check out these rodeo bulls' opinions of the presidential candidates. Jeremy Roth has more.
It's important to respect animals and their opinions on politics, which is why I'm glad these rodeo bulls got a chance to weigh in on the presidential race. The bulls were brought in to graze over the candidates' pictures and used their number 2s to pick their number 1.
America, Donald Trump, he's coming for you, and he smells amazing.
And that's no bull. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Regina, I have a pretty good sense of humor about things, but I'm a little offended by that.
Well,
they crossed a line in my book.
I mean, is it a good thing when the...
that's the winners, they said.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's always good ideas for picking the new president. I feel like a bunch of them always come out like...
Yes, you're right.
Oh, here we're
or
gonna...
the Super Bowl teams or
yeah,
whatever it
right,
is.
That, exactly.
Or the Also Ran Museum in Kansas,
oh,
where they have the person who came in second to president. But anyway, okay,
right.
Go on.
Well, we are going to see cold conditions for tomorrow, only topping out in the upper teens. Cold conditions, but not as cold for Sunday. Lots of sunshine as we head into Sunday, though.
The day a story crossed the line in my book. Mark it down, the 8th of January. Good night.